in this basket here, we have, oh yeah, we have 170 pounds of copper. Okay, we're gonna double chop this. Since this has only been ran through once, we still have contaminant in the material. We're gonna do a double chop on the already granulated material to see if we can free up those chunks of copper with plastic on it still that we want out of the equation, and any other foreign plastics or materials that could possibly be in our way. I'm gonna take a flat shovel and just scoop it right into the dang machine because it goes quick. So this is my honest approach and attempt to see if I do a re-chop on it, will that work? To get it as clean as we can get it, because I'm shooting for 100%, but you know that percentage is extremely hard to achieve. But I'm gonna get as close as I can to it and then sell it. All right, we're gonna do a re-chop on 170 pounds of copper, and I'm gonna start scoop shoveling it right straight into the granulator. Okay, here's our stopwatch right here. I decided to do that instead of using like the phone clock. I figured that would be a lot easier to do. So I'm gonna hit go right now, and I'm gonna set this camera up that I'm holding, and then we're gonna start scooping material into our machine. It's going now. Okay, that's gonna go down here. See, you guys have a head start already. yeah, 21 minutes on 170 pounds of material. I definitely think that's worth the gamble to re-chop it and then sluice it. See how clean it comes anyway. Sorry, Mr. Bean, your sound cannot be on for this. But I just grabbed this stuff to kind of show you guys, not that piece, but these materials right here were the ones that I was trying to weed out. This is the plastics of the pieces that were left in there from the first run. It's like they're split right down the middle and the copper's kind of ejected from it. However, though, a couple of new issues have arisen that I see here. Okay. This is like the fourth or fifth couple little pieces of tin coated wire that I had seen in my batch. I'm pulling them out if I see them, but I haven't seen much of them at all. Probably like 4 or 5 little pieces. But the other thing is, to see this wire right here. I don't know how that tiny little wire got in the machine in the first place. That's not machine wire, or the machine wire that we look for, because there's like, it's tiny. That should not have been in there. So it's really a crucial step, is as you're saving this stuff over the span of the summertime, that you need to look out for wires like that and not mix them in on accident, or else you'll end up with stuff like that, like what I just showed you guys. But yeah, 21 minutes on 170 pounds of material. I definitely think that's worth the gamble to re-chop it and then sluice it. See how clean it comes anyway. But that's the portion of this video right now. We're gonna sluice this stuff here real quick. I'm gonna get set up for that right now. All right, I figured it out. For some reason, this one doesn't shut off when I hit the cut button, and then this one does. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Whatever. All right, we're gonna start scooping this stuff out the window. Okay, probably a couple of spoonfuls at a time because it's quite heavy. 2 scoops of this is like, I can't even put a weight on it, but I'd probably say it's over 25-30 pounds for a couple scoops. So yeah, all right, we're just gonna dig it back up out of the machine. I'm loving this rubber mat we got on the ground here. All right, I'm just making it easy for me to scoop. See, that's a piece of insulation right there. There's no copper in it. That's beautiful. All right, let's turn the pressure washer on. Make sure it bubbles and pops a couple of times as it does. I think we're good. Oh, there's no copper in that. That's awesome. Shovel it right out the window, man. This should be getting it as close as I can get it. That was quite a bit. Those 2 shovelfuls is a lot of weight in copper. Let's scoop it out, see what we got, man. It's beautiful. It looks so nice. Heck yeah. wait. Ah, it's a little piece of cat wire. I haven't seen that one before yet. That's nice though. Pretty damn clean. But either way, we're going to be laying this stuff out in this plastic that we got over there. I already got a pile sitting in there, but that should be like finished product. Because any much more, I'm very unwilling to want to pick them out. So I can honestly say, within those two scoops, I pulled out 3 pieces of contaminant. Okay. So unfortunately, we're not at 100%, but if you guys remember back in the videos, I was pulling out 20 or 30 pieces. I only pulled out 3 pieces for a couple of scoops, which weighs about 25-30 pounds. This is some good weight right here. I can see contaminant in this stuff right now that I'm dumping in, but if I'm only pulling out 2 or 3 pieces at the end, I'm totally fine with that, man. But we're laying out all our copper back there on a piece of plastic visqueen because I want to go through it. I want to look at it, you know. What was that? I don't know. Yeah, a couple of scoops of that stuff. That's heavy for this. I mean, it's got to be 15-20 pounds a scoop. That's how it feels. See the buildup of plastic? That's the stuff that we're getting out right now. That's good. And guys, I haven't seen... Let me go talk to this camera real quick. I haven't seen one chunk of wire with plastic on it yet. All besides one little piece that was like a 1/4 inch long. So double chopping, it does work. I haven't found any copper with insulation yet. Besides this. Besides that piece right there. You guys see how clean that is? There's tin coated piece. I've only found like 6 or 7 or 8 now of those. Oh, what is that? Found 2 more. Three more. It's always that last scoop that's a little troublesome. See? So this one had 4 or 5 pieces. That's better. But that last little scoop right there at the end had 3 or 4 or 5 pieces in it on that one. Which is still not bad. Not bad at all. Look. It didn't take off this one little piece. But it got the rest of it off on that one of those passes. Yeah, that was good. All right. Couple of big scoops each time will do the trick. That's heavy. All right. Absolutely stunning. It looks beautiful. That is some seriously clean copper. It just is. Look at that. I'm looking to see for myself too. At this point, I want to know. You see what I mean? There's one piece. There's another one. And another one. I'm putting all the pieces that I find right there. I'm putting all the pieces that I find on that orange bucket. That's what I'm doing. I can't forget that. I shouldn't have went in here with that. All right. Keep a scooping. That's good. See, that knocked the copper out of that piece of plastic. I'm pretty confident in this process that we have here. There's another one right there. But if that's all I'm going to be finding is 3 or 4 pieces per scoop, okay. There's room for improvement for sure. It's the closest I've ever gotten to having a really clean product. And that makes me happy. Yeah. I forgot my frickin' scooper. And I forgot it. See, right off the bat, that's a big chunk that was missed right there. Trying to find the absolute percentage of dirty contaminants found after I do this a second run. I want to see how close it is to purity. That's why I'm kind of looking through it right now. With each handful I'm looking, and I keep finding that it's always the last scoop that has these pieces in it. Something going on there. There's another one there. And there and there. So that was another like 4 or 5 little pieces. But we're gonna weigh those pieces up and see how close we are to being clean. About halfway there with what we got chopped or re-chopped. Hadouken! Oh, there's one right there. There's a prime example of what I wanted to get rid of. I might have to downsize the diameter of my screen, just like I've heard in comments. You guys might be right. There's another whatever that is. Should have washed out. Man, these first scoops are just so perfect. It's insane. I love it. But that was time consuming because I was going through each bit at a time and picking out the problems. Right here is the pile that I made inside. I'm finding a chunk of brass, a piece of tin coated copper. I got 3 pieces with copper and insulation still on it, and then I found this little tiny red mystery wire right here. Okay, we're gonna add that onto the stuff that's on top of this bucket that I was picking out. These are all of the things that my machine did not sluice out, even the second time around. Okay, and we're going to inspect and look at the things that I am running into, the problems. But it's a very small problem if you ask me. Look at that. That's all I seen, and I was going scoop for scoop looking through it. You guys see me do it. Yeah, it was time consuming, and that may or may not be worth it, but to me it's worth it to find out the information that I want to know. You understand? So we have that pile, and then this tailings pile right here. This stuff. This is what came out of the second run after sluicing it twice. This, right? No. I was watching it build up the whole time. So we're gonna get that and that, and we're gonna weigh those up and see out of 170 pounds what percentage clean it is for the amount that we sluiced out, or I'm sorry, for the amount that we picked out right here. Look, that's how many pieces that were left in that did not make it to the end of my catch screen where I wanted it to. See that? Okay. And that's a good pile of plastic that I did not get the first go. But look at it now. We'll be able to test and see how much cleaner it got doing the second run. See what I'm getting at? And then we'll get the percentage of stuff that did not chop through the granulator, that did not sluice out of my copper, and we got to find out why and correct it. In reality, see how close it is. We still might have to decrease the diameter of my screen on the granulator, which takes away from the speed. Not quite sure exactly how much, but I'm gonna throw these babies on the charger and we will see you back with the results for sure. Okay, did you see that though? Look, that's it. That's all there was that I couldn't get out. Look, look, look. And then this is the stuff that did wash out the second go. We're gonna do some weigh ups on those two. I gotta go find my small scale. Nice. Okay, we are going to get this scale on and tear it, and we're gonna weigh those two piles of contaminants that we had gotten from this. Okay, I went through this like spoon for spoon looking for pieces, so I mean, I don't know if I can get any more real direct than that, but this is the stuff that did not come out whatsoever. It's fair to weigh this, right? Get all of it. That one too. Okay, so we have this. This is the stuff that did not sluice out of 170 pounds. We're gonna put it on this scale right now and see what it come out to. This one does ounces and pounds. Hopefully it'll weigh at least an ounce or something. .90 ounce. There's one. Okay, holy crap. Yeah, I thought it weighed about an ounce, but it's 1.05 ounce of contaminant that I could not get out whatsoever out of the 170 pounds. I'm gonna put it right here in this little pocket. Okay, and we're gonna go grab that insulation that is out at the catch. We got that number. Let's go out there and go get that insulation material. This is the stuff that we, you know, that we actually got to wash out. And we're gonna have to come up with a way to weigh this. I'm gonna stuff it into a cup. It was just this area right here is where it was all washing out into, so we're gonna grab everything that's there. I do see a piece of copper or two, but it's tiny. It's a very small amount. But there, this is giving us the closest idea of how accurate that second run was of getting this stuff out. Okay, tear, zeroed out. That weighs, what does that say? 10.60 ounces. Tear, she zeroed out. Let's dump this plastic in there. It's even got some water weight too, which is, well, it is what it is. Okay, so we have 13.10 ounces. Okay. All right. So now we're going to break out the phone and figure this out. Google is awesome asking these kind of questions. Just ask it the equation, you know what I mean? That's what I do. Out of 170 pounds, we pull out 13.10 ounces of material. What percent is that? It's generating. Okay. The AI overview says that the material pulled out is approximately 0.0048% of the total weight. That's amazing. Okay. All right, we got that part. So, let's do this one now. Out of 170 pounds, my granulator and sluice could not get out 1.05 ounces. Out of 170 pounds, if I take out 1.05 ounces, what percent is that? Okay, it says taking 1.05 ounces out of 170 pounds represents approximately 0.000385% of total weight. It's so close. That's so close. Okay, out of 170 pounds minus the 0.0386% is approximately 169.934 pounds. It's good. It's good. It is good. Okay. Yeah. We're good. That is so close. Wow. So let's go back to the 13.10 ounces. Let's add the two together. That's what we can do. Let's add these two together, and then we'll be able to find out what percentage the first run did. Right? Let's do that. So we have 13, 14, 14.15 ounces out of 170 pounds. What percent? Therefore, 14.15 ounces is approximately 0.52% of 170 pounds. Wow. Oh, wow. Not bad. Not bad at all. So, everybody, by adding these two together, we just found out what the percentage of the very first run, the very first chop and run, and it comes out basically 99 point... wait a second here. Okay. Yeah. All right. So basically, by adding those two together, on the very first chop and sluice, our recovery rate would basically be 99.48% pure, on average. That's what I'm seeing. That's if you're taking away this stuff and this stuff. And there is water weight inside of this right now too. If I wring that out, I'd probably up my percentage even a little bit more. But for the very first granulation and sluice, we're looking at like 99.48% clean. That is very, 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 very good, if you ask me. Okay. Now that 170 pounds out there doesn't. It's as clean as I'm gonna get it. There might be a flake of plastic here or there, but that is it. This was the bulk of it that I found when I was taking a scoop out at a time. And I did that. I know it was time consuming, but I did that to find out what the average percent of purity I'm getting out of, say, running it the first time and running it the second time. Right? So yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. I'm within 1%. I'm within 0.5%. Okay? That is freaking awesome. And the stuff that we have in here, okay, the problems that we're having in here that need to be corrected to be able to get that 0.5% that I am just wanting to get, just to get it, that 0.5% is very hard. But we still have copper with plastic insulation on it, but a very, very reduced amount. Okay. We have some tin-coated copper pieces that I found. These little suckers, they stick out like a sore thumb when they're in bare bright looking material. Okay, that's how I found these, because they stuck out so hardcore. All right, and then we have, well, this was a sorting accident. This little tiny wire right here is a piece of communication cable wire. It's cat wire. I don't know how that got in there, but apparently a piece of cat wire got in there at one point. All right. The other piece of contaminant that I had found, I don't know if that's, nope, that's tin-coated crap. Where is it? It's in here somewhere. A little tiny piece of steel right there. Oh, I just dropped it. But anyways, we got our percentage out of it. A little piece of steel, and then there's a little chunk of brass right there, which I am assuming that was just like a connector end of some sort. Right there, see? So I'm still really, in reality, I'm dealing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in between 4 and 5 different types of contaminants, which is a very low percentage of it though, which is the part that makes me very, very happy here. That with the first run of granulating it and sluicing it, I'm within 0.48% pure. That's the way I'm looking at it, and that's how I'm gonna look at it. That's just, it's freaking awesome, if you ask me. But yeah, that was our rough math there, and well, from what I see is it's very, very effective. Very effective. To be able to come that close. See that? Out of 170 pounds, this is the stuff that came out. This is the plastics off wire that I find in each batch. This is the plastic that I was able to get out by chopping up those pieces that I had a hard time with on the first run. So really, is it worth, say, standing there and picking out those pieces or rerunning the material? I'm almost still voting for rerunning the material and then sluicing it again. I felt like that was way faster than standing there trying to find these in a frickin' pile of copper when I can reduce its size through a second run and make it this easy for me to pull out the stuff that we don't want in there. That copper out there is so clean right now, so clean that I bet it's right within 0.25% clean. away from being clean out of 100%. Yeah, that's what I think. And I think that should be considered bare bright, because that is so close, and so accurate too. This right here alone is just proving to me that this is possible. Look at this. Look at how nice that looks, dude. Bare bright. Bare bright me, please. For sure. So clean. So clean. This stuff has been already ran twice too. Look at how clean it is. Look at it. Are you looking? Yeah. The one thing I want to do to this stuff, since I got it laid out on this bisqueen over here, I'm gonna grab that big yellow magnet and kind of just mag the surface of it as I'm putting the stuff away for sale. That's what I think I want to do. Yeah, that's what I think anyways. Yep, I gotta go to the auto shop and go get a part. I gotta go get some parts for the car. Apparently I'm just getting a couple sets of brake pads on the back, and that's it. The rotor's got some damage, but whoop-de-woo, whatever. Story of my life. Yep. But that is it. That is what we did. That's how we did it. And there's our percentages, and I'm going to have to work on that through editing. But we have all the we got the numbers right here. I'll be able to make it look fancy, okay? Through editing. Instead of just standing there asking Google. But Google is very accurate, especially with the AI stuffs. Gosh, that's some good weight. Nice and clean copper though. It's beautiful. Beautiful. We got all these buckets right here, and then we got a whole other bucket in here that's probably, it weighs over 200 pounds. So we got to just finish that and this, and then sell it, and then we're done. Then we're done with it for the season. I'm good with that, and I can move on to other things. All right, let's slap some pads on this turd. This is the allegedly bad side. But at least it'll stop grinding and giving me problems. How about that? Oh no, it does not like being held up right there no more. Oh, it's rusty. I'm good. Oh, it likes it. We're off the ground. We're good. Just those points where we lift the car up nowadays, they're pretty mushy. Oh yeah. All right. Got some drag slick tires on there. Look at that. It's still holding there. All right. You turd. They're gonna come off nice and easy, right? For me, okay. Oh, with that K-frame's pretty rotten. That thing is giving out. Okay, punk. You're feeling lucky, punk. Okay, now I got something we can beat on a little bit. Oh, we got it. Beautiful. What's holding this turd in? Oh. Hey guys, what are you doing down here? Are you waiting for me to get my stuff together? Well, let's just smack that out of there. There's the screws for it. Oi. Just get those up out of there. Where's my pads? Oh yeah. There'd be my problem. I had a little pad left on there, you know what I'm saying? Hey, hey you. You gotta get out of there. I'm talking to you. You get. No, I'm not looking in that side of the rotor. You little sheesh. There it is. Oh yeah, see look, it's down to this steel. It's got some nice ridges. It's a good textured ridge that it's got right there. Yeah. Alright, let's jam some pads in here. Just push that in here right here. You turd. It is a turd! We're not looking at the back of the rotor, just like I said. Not doing that today. Now, we're gonna have to take like this doohickey over here and push this cylinder back in the doohickey, the bobber. Yep, that's how we do. That's how we do brakes over here. Gotta get that in there. Yeah. A little thin. It is. But we gotta get that in there. So I'll grab an old pad. This side had some juice left in it. Where's that thing that we just had? Gosh, I hate that. No, it's right here in front of me. I usually just use a C-clamp because it's what I have handy. And it does the trick. Ish. Hey, you're gonna cooperate. Yeah. You can cooperate. That rubber boot got heat treated a little bit from what it looked like. A little bit of heat treatment. But with how small the rotor is, this should go on pretty easy. You get on there. Yep, slide right back on there. Get some screws going. Stuff's falling off the new one already. You get back on there. Oh yeah, there'll be a little bit of a initial grinding. It's gonna eat all the rust off of it. So we gotta hop over and get the other side done. Let's get this tire back on, man. Sorry, I parked my turd in the way.
Oh, you're good.
I worked so long in construction that I forgot I had a dream. Didn't know where I was going, didn't like where I had been. So one day I gave it all up when my eyes were open wide. I packed my life into my truck with Mason Boy by my side. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping industry, dumpster diving, street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals and my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. Myself a trailer, so when I'm on the road, I have a rolling workshop and can scrap a heavy load. When it feels like life is hard, I know just what to do. I hit the road and recycle scrap and make my dreams come true. I kept driving, but I had to make ends meet. I started thriving by scrapping in the street, dumpster diving, street scrapping throughout America. From Michigan to Ohio, down to Florida. Merchant metals, recycle, don't destroy. Merchant metals, my dog Mason Boy. Merchant metals, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi. my channel, leave a thumbs up and say hi.